Previously on Mitchell's review of Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro.
Hey everyone, it's not Aaron Turner here. My name is Mitchell Donner, and from now on, I will be taking over the game reviews. I've taken over Aaron's game reviews, and I'm about to review Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. Can you review it with me? Fine, I'll be there soon. That's Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro, and unfortunately I don't think it's a very good game.
So I guess you agree with Aaron. He told me last time he thought the sequel was way worse.
Yeah, I guess this is one of those rare times where I agree with that dumbass. Anyway, speaking of which, I should probably go check on him and see how he's doing.
Alright, just let me know when you plan on reviewing the next Spider-Man game.
Yeah, sure thing. What game are you reviewing next? Sonic Advance. Oh man, I wanted to review that. Well, too bad. I gave you an option and you refused, so you can stay here. See ya!
Ahem.
What the hell? Sonic? What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? Who the hell are you and where's Aaron?
My name's Mitchell. I took over his game reviews.
Oh, well, you know what? I don't care. Can you just pick your hungover ass up and review our game?
Hour?
That's right, I got Tails and Knuckles with me since you're about to review Sonic Advance. Yeah, let's do this. Is there anything left in that bottle?
Oh, right. Sonic Advance. Just give me a sec. So, Sonic Advance.
So, Aaron already mentioned this, but in 1999, Sonic Pocket Adventure was the first 2D Sonic game, as well as first handheld Sonic game since Sonic Blast on the Game Gear. Although many criticized the game for being too similar to Sonic 2 on Genesis.
But in 2001, I think, we got another Sonic handheld title that also went back to the series' roots, this time on a Nintendo handheld of all things. So does Sonic Advance give us a cool new 2D Sonic title? Well, let's find out. You know, I'm really not in the condition to play this.
Just do it. So the game has 4 playable characters, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy Rose. Sonic plays pretty much the same as he did in the classic Genesis games, including having the Insta-Shield from Sonic 3, although the elemental shields don't make a return, unfortunately. Sonic also has this somersault move he can do, but I really don't understand the purpose of it. It's pretty useless to me. Tails can of course fly, and he can also use his tails as a weapon like in the first Sonic Adventure. Although unlike Sonic Adventure, I found that his tail attack was pretty useless for the most part. Knuckles can glide and climb walls, but he also has a 3-punch combo that he can do, and like Sonic's somersault and Tails' tail attack, I didn't find it to be very useful. Then there's the worst character, Amy Rose. Now, to be fair, Amy is not nearly as bad as she was in Sonic Adventure, but she still manages to have pretty terrible gameplay. First of all, the biggest problem with Amy is that unlike the other characters, she can't curl into a ball to jump, and she can't do a spin dash. You need to rely on her hammer in order to do everything, such as attack enemies or to jump higher. She also has this weird skip forward hop that she can do, and I'm really struggling to find out what it's useful for. So wait a minute, that means that all 4 characters have useless abilities. Sonic has a dumb somersault, Tails has an ability that should be useful but isn't, Knuckles has a 3-punch attack that's useless, and Amy has a stupid hop forward ability. So yeah, in regards to the playable characters, none of them are perfect, but I'd say that Tails is the best character. I'm liking this guy already. Anyway, let's get into the zones and boss fights. You start off in Neo Green Hill Zone. Wait, seriously? They're really doing this again? Okay, to be fair, besides the similar name, Neo Green Hill Zone is pretty different from Green Hill Zone, so I'll give them that, I guess. They also put in rails you can grind on like Sonic Adventure 2. The boss of this zone is not that great. It's kinda similar to Emerald Hill's boss from Sonic 2, except instead of a drill, Eggman has a hammer swinging back and forth. Secret Base Zone is a pretty good zone. I like the addition of zip lines, ropes, and hooks you have to use to progress. That's really fun. But the boss fight once again isn't that great. It's just Eggman bouncing towards you. Casino Paradise Zone is a fun zone but not very original. It feels just like the other casino type zones in Sonic games, although I will say the music in this zone is great. The boss fight is pretty lame. Eggman goes back and forth and you have to hit him as he goes by. Ice Mountain Zone looks nice and has some good music, but it feels too similar to Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3.
Although Arron would probably automatically like this zone because he's a sucker for snow-type levels.
Ha! That is so him. Anyway, the boss is once again pretty lame. Eggman is above the water and you have to use the falling ice to get up and hit him. Part of it is also kinda annoying since you also need to keep from drowning. They also brought back Angel Island Zone from Sonic 3, although it looks nothing like the one from Sonic 3. I'm not a huge fan of this zone, to be honest. There's too many spikes and bottomless pits. There's also too many springs. Although, come to think of it, there's too many springs in a lot of the zones. Also, the boss fight is just the same boss fight with Knuckles as Hidden Palace Zone from Sonic 3, except it's a robotic version of Knuckles, so I'm not a fan of that. The 6th zone has different names for each act. The first act is called Egg Rocket Zone, and it's actually pretty good for the most part, aside from dumb enemy placement and it being a little too long. Act 2 is called Cosmic Angel Zone and is okay, I guess. Although it does reuse some elements of switching the gravity like in Death Egg Zone from Sonic 3. I will say though, I love the music in both of these acts. These last 2 acts have the best music of any zone. The boss fight is a little tricky, especially depending on who you're playing as. Eggman goes back and forth on the bottom, and not only do you have to dodge that, but also these balls that he shoots out at you. That's what she said. Am I right, boys?
Seriously? Get the fuck out of here, Knuckles.
Oh. Anyway, after these 2 acts, you go to the X Zone and have a boss fight with Eggman. You first fight him a bit in his original ball and chain from the first game on Genesis, and then the drill boss from Sonic 2. And then you have this really fucking annoying boss where Eggman is in this spinning top thing, and the amount of precision needed in this fight is extremely irritating. So that's the game. But what if you collect all the Chaos Emeralds? Now, I didn't do this, but you need to find these special springs in each zone, which take you to the special stages, where you collect a certain amount of rings to get a Chaos Emerald. If you collect them all, you get an extra final zone called Moon Zone, which only Sonic can access.
Why is Sonic the only character that can access it? I don't fucking know. Laziness, probably. They didn't want to design new sprites for every character, I guess.
So as Super Sonic, you run into Eggman's shell a few times, and then you get the true ending.
Wow, that's totally worth it.
Now, I know this review is very critical of the game, but I actually don't hate this game. I think it's still a very enjoyable and fun game to play. The music is great, I love the sprites and the way they're animated, I like some of the new elements that were introduced. I consider it to be overall better than any of the Game Gear games, but I also think it's extremely flawed. The main problem I have with Sonic Advance is its lack of originality. Casino Paradise Zone, Ice Mountain Zone, and Cosmic Angel Zone are too reminiscent of previous Sonic games. I don't like any of the boss fights, and I think they're all pretty lame and basic. And don't even get me started on the game ending with yet another Supersonic true ending bullshit. Amy also sucks as a playable character, and every character has their own ability that's entirely useless. Sonic Advance is a good game, and very fun, but an extremely flawed one at that. I'm gonna give Sonic Advance a 6 out of 10. Wow, you're just as disappointing as Arron is. Oh, come on, Sonic, he's not that bad. Well, if you want to stay here and chat with him, by all means, go ahead. I'm not sticking around. By the way, where is Arron?
He's in my basement.
Oh, great. So, what's the next game review?
It's another Spider-Man game, which means I'll have to invite that webbed dickhead again.
Yeah, I've never met him myself, but I've heard he's kind of a loser. There's a rumor going around that on his off days, he does nothing but watch porn all day.
Tell me about it. You know, Tails, I think you and me are gonna get along just fine. What the hell? Sonic? Knuckles? What are you guys doing here?
Well, well, Arron Turner, look at you. We're here to bust you out, man.
Oh, thank God. Well, quick, hurry up and get me out of here before Mitchell shows up.
Nah, we're just fucking with you. We came to laugh at your ass.
Aw, screw you guys. God, am I gonna be trapped in here forever?